He's coming. Perfect. Okay, I'm just going to... I will finally get my desire.
What? The fuck? Waver's blue stick. This is a sign telling me that I'm gonna review it. Ah, why not? Let's do this. It's time. I'm back.
Out of everything a game wants to show, graphics tends to be the #1 priority, as well as game logos with okay sounding rock music. But Nintendo had a different strategy. They show off the water. Impressive indeed. The previous wave race on the Nintendo 64 was getting critical acclaim because of the water physics. Did the water live up to the predecessor in this sequel? There is not an intro this time, it just cuts to the title screen with a lot of options. They are the same as before. Now, the water effects are not just in-game, but on screen when navigating. We have Championship, Time Attack, Stunt Mode, Multiplayer, Free Roam, Tutorial, and finally Options. No surprises here. A new feature introduced are multiple characters, a nice touch indeed since there was only 4 characters in the last game. Another touch are the characters themselves as they make appearances in other Nintendo branded extreme sports games. You get to choose the course in any order. Definitely a good idea to lay down your strategy as how effective you can deliver results. Strategy is the word you should think about. Look at the icons beside the courses, those weather icons. They determine how tough the weather is going to be to traverse, as it is going to be helpful. It's also helpful by looking at the height the waves generate. The higher up they go, the harder it is to stay on the course. We're off! The music kicks in and so does the sounds of the engines boosting up. The gameplay is basically the same as in Wave Race 64. Use the control sticks to steer and the A button to speed up. If you would race as fast as possible, it would possibly be too easy to stay in the race, so you have to pass through buoys. The more you miss, the more likely it is for you to get a game over. Miss 5 of them and that's what happens. It's basically like Mario Kart, but in the end. Speaking of which, that's something else which happens. Even if you get the buoys, you still have to place well. In the first race it is 6th place and over, then it is 3rd and so on and so on. If you don't, it's game over. Pretty good if I say so myself. But what's an imaginative sports games without courses? Nothing. So what do the courses have to offer? A lot of creativity and atmosphere. They are great. Sure, they are the usual beaches and lakes, but it doesn't matter. Well designed and the graphics really lifts up the presentation. Without it, it will be real boring to look at. The Wave Race games are remembered fondly for its wave physics. Sure, the Wave Race in the N64 game may have seemed more impressive, but that's no reason to criticize them in this sequel. They're just as impressive as before. I would say they're more impressive since you can now see underwater. The waves themselves are great. It is going to be the biggest challenge. Don't underestimate the sea. It's coming back to haunt you. You really have to tilt the stick accordingly to the wave so it becomes your best friend. However, instead of just talking about the graphics, I will even talk about the courses themselves. So first up, Lost Temple Lagoon. You are now treading in foreign ground as the race course is around a forgotten location which used to be a city, turned into this very course. It is not very difficult to remember since it's just a circle, but it is easier to get stuck behind rocks. Something which happens to me a couple of times. It is unforgiving if you do mess it up. I seriously went from 1st to 5th or lower because I lost control. Next up is Aspen Lake, the only course covered in fog for the first lap. An interesting idea, I must say. Out of all this, it is the only one with environmental hazards. Strange if you ask me. In addition to the fog, there's also wooden poles shoved down in the ground. Who placed them there? And why? Unlike in the previous game, driving into them won't make you crash, something which is very welcoming. It should be pointed out that the fog light is up from lap 2 onward, which makes sense, although it is possible that the fog will be present all the way. I think it is time to address something which can break down the men in one fell swoop, the turbo function. Passing through buoys isn't only for staying in the race. After passing through enough of them, you will hear that the turbo function has been filled up. Now just push the C button to get the real boost, throwing you forward for seconds. It sounds like a good idea on paper, but it is no good idea to use it casually. Control is lost and you have almost no way to steer it. I didn't take first place because I spun under control, had to get up as fast as possible, which does take a couple of seconds. The very last course I've chosen is the one and only Ocean City Harbor. Kinda strange it is marked as sunny while it is in nighttime. This one is my absolute favorite. It gives a feeling of modernism but at the same time sincerity, something later extreme sport kids have been able to achieve. You are driving through the harbor with shipping containers, ramps and ships. It is such an organic stage, as in the more obstacles are added the more you traverse. Sadly, I never thought I would have to say this, the ramp sucks. If it's not big enough waves, you won't have the strength to get over them flawlessly, as you get stuck there until you can actually get out, which does take time. Although, the biggest obstacle comes in the shape of the buoys. They are all over the place. Some of them will be missed, but it's okay. For some, it is a challenge which makes the games fun to play. I messed up with the turbo and didn't end up in first, despite I did well on that front. Oh well, that's a lesson to learn the hard way. The same with life. Don't take things for granted.
Alright guys, welcome to this very update video. Yes, I'm doing an update video because I just want to thank you all guys for the views this channel has been getting this year. And I actually I'm rather proud of the end of the year, as you have seen, if you have seen in your subscription box. I have made 3 game reviews this month, between November and December, which I'm real proud of. And I have decided that's what I'm going to continue doing. I'm going to produce more game reviews, and I'm setting the standard for like 2 game reviews a month. I think I will be able to do that well enough, as I have finally been able to find a system which actually works to actually put up game reviews at a more regular basis. I combine both script writing as well as filming, which is something that I like both doing at the same time, but I haven't been able to combine them until now. So yes, expect more game reviews than ever in 2023. So this review goes up today, when you're watching this it goes up on January 5th, and I will be uploading the next game review at some point later in January. I will try to improve on the timing as well as things happening in the game, because I write plenty of the scripts beforehand. I actually start capturing footage. That's because I want a great entrance so that it's going to flow better. But unfortunately, due to that, I've been skipping plenty of things which could be fun to explain. For instance, in the review you just saw, there were plenty of points which I brought up but didn't actually show, and that's something I can absolutely practice on. So yeah, expect more quality videos, more videos, and I will really try to make 2023 the resurgence of the SNESky, to put up more videos at a regular basis so that this channel can grow even more and more. I just don't know what to end on, except that I'm going to for once actually said this. I haven't actually never said it, but if you'd like to, you can always subscribe to this channel. It would really mean a lot to me. So thank you everyone for watching this video, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.